I like encouraging people to post their own progress, because one thing that I've always found interesting, we can look at The Biggest Loser, for example, which quite frankly I hate. I think you look at the people who lost a lot of weight on it, the vast majority of them, if not all of them, gain it all back. But something unique about that show, that it showed us, when you've got eyes on you, you're going to be doing things differently. And so, I mean, the entire country, if not the world, it's an international show, is watching you. And granted, like, they're in a controlled environment, they don't have access to certain foods. But as soon as the eyes come off of you, it feels like a weight off your shoulders, but also you lose the accountability. And so there has to be a balance there. But for someone to deliberately take control of their own fitness, post their progress. Hey, this is what I'm going to do. Every day, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. I'm going to hit my calories, hit my protein, hit my fiber. I'm going to get my steps in. And they post it on their social media. And all of a sudden, even if people aren't necessarily communicating with you about it, they're watching. Even if it's only 3 or 5 people, like, they're watching. And some of them will communicate with you. But I think often that's enough for people to be like, I've got to stay accountable because people are watching it. I've found that to be very helpful for my clients. What about you?
I have 2 things. Number one, yes, because, and this is where I think sometimes people, I don't want to say they shit on coaching, but I think people feel like, oh, I shouldn't need a coach forever. I shouldn't need accountability forever. But I'm like, accountability is everything.
Yes.
I'm like, it is literally like the glue that keeps everything together. It's not a negative thing for you to need or want or thrive off of accountability. So like, stop feeling bad about like, oh my God, I can only stay on track when I'm being held accountable. It's like, that's most people. So like, so stop feeling bad. And then number 2, what I love the most? I agree with what you said 100%. But you know what I love the most? When people have shit weeks and they still post.
Yes, it's the best.
The best, bro. Because how easy is it to say, I only hit my calories 3 out of 7 days.
I'm not going to share it.
Yeah. I only got 2 out of 3 workouts. I didn't hit my steps this week. I'm just not going to share it. But then you don't share it that week. And then that spirals into next week. You're not perfect again, or you don't think you did what you're supposed to do again. So it spirals. And you just kind of like wean yourself out of the coaching or the group or even your own posting, whatever. It's like, post no matter what.
Yes.
Good week, bad week, best week, worst week, indifferent week, saw progress, didn't see progress. Post it, dude. Yep. Like, I promise you will get to where you want to be eventually.
It's so easy as well. If you don't post one week, it just bleeds into the next and the next. It's very similar to when people, they eat off track, they go over their calories. Like, well, I'm just not going to track my calories then. It's like you track them every day. If you're making a decision to track them, you track everything you eat. Because if you decide, well, I had the cheesecake like we had last night, I'm just not going to track it. The fuck is the point? Why even bother tracking it if you're not going to track everything? You're not being honest with yourself.
Yeah.
You're only shooting yourself in the foot.
And you're only like, you're trying to pass a test.
Yes.
We're not trying to pass a test, you guys. Like, we're just trying to move forward and hold ourselves accountable.
Correct.
You're not getting graded on this.
Correct.
Like, it's something we tell our members all the time. Like, you're not taking the fucking SAT, bro. Like, just show up. It's going to be okay. And, something, you kind of taught me as well, which is like, I'm not going to think any less of you.
Yeah.
The people who are watching, they're not going to think any less of you. They're going to relate to you, and they're going to want to support you and encourage you, and they're going to hold you accountable, like we talked about earlier. They're not going to let you off the hook. If they're actually a friend, they're not going to let you off the hook. So post no matter what, man.